In this video, I go for a drive without any doors. Right, can we get the door off? It's a slightly bit out. Ta-da! Right, so we got the door off, and it's now considerably more al fresco. And the reason for getting the door off is I need to dismantle it. I've got to take all these screws out to get this inner door card off, which is held in place with the rollers at the bottom, so there's no choice but to remove it. But there you go, it's apparently quite easy to do. So the plastic rollers roll along a bar on the underside of the car. Let's get dismantling. No, this isn't going to be as easy as I hoped. I was hoping I can get this inner skin off, but despite slackening off these bolts, it appears this is actually bonded together along that edge. So I don't think getting that apart is really going to be possible. So my access is going to be through this hole and up here, which should be enough to stick a plate in place. That's very much the plan, is to stick a piece of metal behind the glass fibre, then in an ideal world do a glass fibre repair this side to tighten this up, and might put, I don't want to put too big a plate in. I had wondered about filling this whole triangular section, but I think that'd be unsightly and a bit unnecessary as well. But we shall see. I'll have to clean this up and have a look into it. Well, using my new friend, the cobalt drill bit, I've managed to drill out the rather knackered screws, and by my standards I haven't damaged those too much. Always helps knowing these are pretty standard Morris Minor door handles, but that seems alright. Let's get that out. So one thing that differs from Morris Minor is this extension piece. That extension piece is what allows you to operate the internal handle without the external handle moving. I think a standard Morris Minor one might end somewhere around there, so I'd have to cut a slot. Quite complicated, so I'm pleased to have been able to salvage that. It's not immaculate, but it is saved. So hopefully I can get around fitting that to the car. Although I've still got problems with the doors and also focus. So I've opened this slot up just to take all the roughness off, so that's now smooth. So yeah, I need to find a nice bit of metal. Getting something to follow this curve as it comes back in is going to be the difficult bit, so I might need to make a cardboard template and then try and find a bit of metal. Not really steel, I would prefer to use aluminium, but I haven't found any suitable aluminium yet, to go behind here, and probably quite a fair size behind that, and then I can fill that preferably with glass fibre, but we shall see. I might try and get the other door off. I haven't managed to get the handle off that side, and the handle isn't currently functioning, so let's give that a go. Right, should we go for a drive with no doors? Okay, that's enough larking about driving around with no doors. On this side we've got this metal kick strip, but on the other side it is currently not attached. It's here in my hand, in fact. So I need to work out how this attaches. I have a feeling it was little screws, and yeah, there's a hole there, and maybe further holes along here. Need a bit of a tidy up really. Yep, there's another hole there. Well, that wasn't too difficult. That's now screwed down in place. Wonder what the best way is going to be to stick these back on. Oh dear, yeah, these are very poor condition. Ugh. Let's get in and clean this up a bit and work out what I'm going to use to replace them. The glue. Oh, it's taken some freeing off, but I've managed to get the seatbelt moving again, which is good. Do love the button, that's very 1970s. So that's the buckle out, and with the buckle then flat, you can slide the seat across. So if you had a wheelchair, you could pull the seat across to make it easier to transfer into, and then you just push the wheel back into the middle. There's a couple of different positions there, but that's the one I'm going to go for. No, it's the next one. I should want to be level. There we go. Pull the seatbelt up and ready to go again. I suppose I better fit the seatbelt really. Meanwhile, we've got the fuse box having a swim in a vat of Coca-Cola. I've even put the fuses in there. See if it all clears up and it might even start working again. Actually, these keys are a bit of a state as well. Let's check them in as well. I keep forgetting to say thank you to the person who sent me this. Check out this bad boy. Woohoo! It's a strobe for doing the ignition timing. At the moment, I think the ignition timing is probably there or thereabouts, pretty close. But yeah, I'm very grateful to have that in my arsenal. It's not much of an arsenal. I don't have an awful lot of tools, but that's a very handy thing to have. I'll have to work out how to use it next. So I've just brought Tuck outside, just so we can see what she looks like when you can see straight through her. It's a slightly odd concept having no doors. I've managed to get the number plate working, but I haven't completely fitted it yet. And just while we're here, this is what I call a tuck, because in Welsh a W is an oo, so well, it's more a toque, I suppose, really. Maybe I should call her peregrine. See if you get that reference. She is now liveried as well, and I'm hoping to have some stickers available to purchase soon, so keep an eye on hubnut.org, and once I've sorted that out, I'll let you know. Right, I need to go and finish getting Classic Jaguar to print, but it's a nice day, so I thought I'd bring Tuck outside so she can enjoy the sunlight. It's time to get the proper tyre fitted. So this one, remarkably, this has been on the car for many years, and there are signs of cracking on the sidewall. This old Continental tyre, but it's a tube type, which is no longer recommended, and yeah, I think it's probably going to be a good idea to replace that before we go anywhere near the road. So like the back, I've got these Michelin X tyres. There we go, 125 in the R12s, made in the 24th week of 2017. So these were supplied by Vintage Tyres, same as the rears, and yeah, it's the same pattern that I used to have on 2CVs. I must admit I tend to use the slightly wider Toyos these days rather than these 125s. Of course 15-inch on the 2CV rather than these 12s. But these should be great tyres. It should help a bit with the road holding. It seems strange to talk about this car and road holding in the same sentence. I may have to get some new headlamp trim rings. If I've learnt anything from minis, it's don't buy cheap ones because they end up looking like that after about 4 months. So I've just spotted another MOT fail there, so I might well be leaving the car at the MOT station. That ball joint rubber, that's not really protecting anymore, is it? So that's going to need sorting out. Just noticed how close that brake nipple gets to the hub on full lock. There you go. It's all a bit muddy under here because of the state of the driveway. So yeah, I might have to give her a wash before we head for the MOT. But yeah, we're definitely getting closer. I've actually spoken to the MOT garage now, and I went, oh, I haven't seen one of those for years. And so hopefully they can be persuaded to pass the car, although it's definitely going to need some work. New lock on the way, but yeah, getting closer. I better sort the doors out, really. They probably shouldn't be back there and should actually be on the car. Well, some fresh deliveries from China. Let's see what we've got here. We've got a little cam lock to go in the front. It's not quite the right style, but it was very cheap and should work. And we've got an in-car mount for a mobile phone. Oh no, we haven't. We've got one of these instead. I don't think I ordered one of these. It's entirely possible I did and somehow forgot, but I'm pretty sure what I ordered was an in-car mount for a mobile phone. But that could be useful. I wonder if there's anywhere likely we can put that. Maybe I can cable tie it under there so it's not too obtrusive, but I'll end up powering my mobile phone on the trip to the Festival of the Unexceptional. So yeah, not what I ordered, but it'll work. So I'm going to have to get rid of Tuck's little bow and replace it with a lock. Voila! It would appear to work. Another job done. Well, after its bath of Coca-Cola and homemade vinegar, this has come up pretty well, I think. So we'll let that dry out and we'll see if it actually works any better. And there we go, I've now got both handles off. There is the other one. So that's the handle that works, and this one on the bottom doesn't work. I can't get it to unlock at all. And I'll try and lube it up and see if I can free it off, but I don't stand much hope, I don't think. Also, drilling it out, I think I may have opened these holes out too much. The drill actually went all the way through. So there isn't much of a flange to hold these handles in place. This one was particularly difficult because, as you can see, the locked handle, which won't move, is completely in the way. So I had to come in from a bit of an angle, which explains why the hole is not entirely central. But anyway, they're both off. The damage this side isn't so bad. It feels considerably reinforced, so someone's been here before, I think. So hopefully this is just a case of replacing the handle and all will be well. But we shall see. Right, fuse box is refitted again, and I've put the key somewhere. That was clever. Oh, welcome to my world. Right, key in. We have ignition. We have a slightly duff connection on the indicator stalk, but you can see we've now got almost half a tank of fuel, and yeah, that seems good. Things are starting to work again. Right, I need to wipe that poo off my fuel gauge. I have been shopping and bought some very cheap, definitely not Sharpies. It is a permanent marker, and I shall put that somewhere safe so I don't lose it. I might well lose it in this mess. I also bought for £1 entire pound some super strong contact adhesive. Okay, I mean, getting sticky stuff around there, it'll stick to both there and there, so there's quite a lot of adhesiving to do. But getting it all on this, that sounds like a recipe for disaster, to be honest. You know, this is just sort of got a 90-degree section on it because it's designed to go in like so. So I think I'm just going to go with glue on one surface, because otherwise I'm just going to get glue absolutely everywhere if I try and get it all on this and then attach it to that. So let's see what happens. Oh, you don't want to know how stressful that was. Well, you probably do, but you're not going to, because I'm going to tell you. But contact adhesive, really runny stuff. It sticks your fingers together, which is why I was wearing the latex gloves just about there, or nitrile gloves, even better than latex. And yeah, you're trying to stop it falling off while you're gluing it in place, round corners, and it turns out it wasn't long enough, so I've had to insert a section just on that length, which very neatly fits nicely. Let's just rearrange that. Stop touching glue with fingers. Yeah, I think we're going to leave the other seal. I think the other seal's okay, whereas this one was falling off beforehand anyway. And yeah, stressful business, but another step closer. And there we go, that's another door handle fixed. Doesn't quite release as well as I'd really like, but it's alright, you just got to remember to do that again, and it's fine. Ideally I'd secure that, that's just covering a big hole, but it seems to work like that. That'll do. Got the internal handle, which now also works. So that door can go back on. That door also has a 2CV handle, that can go back on. It's interesting how many people say they look like toilet flush handles. Do they look like toilet flush handles actually on a 2CV? It's a question only you, the internet, can answer. Got the battery held in with a ratchet strap now, which isn't as good as a bolt, but that's not going to fall over. That's the main point of that. So we're getting there. I can't do any more tonight. I daren't go anywhere near this seal. That needs somewhere between 2 and 4 hours cure time. So we'll call that a night, I think. Right, as we've got no play in the ball joint itself, I've decided just to order up some fresh covers so I can get those replaced, and she should be MOT ready. Also got my last Michelin tyre now fitted to the rim, so let's get that back on and we can get took outside and put the doors back on. I appear to be doing some bad weather testing today, and so far I'm learning that the demisters don't work too well. I can feel the draft. The demisters are up there, air blows down from the top, but not very effectively, it seems. Also, this car seems to turn into a bit of an echo chamber when you've got all the doors shut. Still got some issues. This door isn't quite latching properly for some reason, so I'm going to have to look into that, because that gap isn't ideal. There's also water ingress, probably from that seal that's full of moss. Fairly damp down there. Bit of a dribble from that gap at the top, but not too bad really. Could be an awful lot worse. So yeah, I was hoping some demisting action would actually happen, but we seem to be struggling to get the engine up to temperature. Well, after a run up the driveway, that's definitely starting to clear a bit. Look, I can very nearly see where I'm going. So yeah, the fan it blows from up there, but the fan is the engine fan. It's like the 2CV, so your fan is all the way where the engine is, and it blows through this pipe, which I've seamlessly repaired, all along here and down to here. And this is where the heater controls are. All my labels have fallen off, but one stops it from being hot, and the other one switches it between windscreen and down here at the back. I think there's a hole underneath the seat somewhere. So that's why I'm going to wrap this one up, because it's far too wet and horrible to do an awful lot today. Turn the headlights off, don't need those on. And yeah, I shall crack on. I've got the ball joint covers on the way, and with those fitted, I'm confident it's then MOT time. So we're getting awfully close. So hopefully the next video, this is part 14, part 15 will actually be going for the MOT. Woo-hoo! ribbons. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and for supporting Project Invacar so far. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and then you'll be told when I'm off for the MOT. I'll try and do something live on the day if I can. Not sure I'll be able to do it at the test centre, it's in the middle of nowhere. And I shall see you again in a future video. Farewell!